Good evening, everyone. Good morning. So good to see you all here. Today we're talking about essential oils and babies. And this is a topic that we haven't actually covered for a while. Babies are not just mini adults. They have their own needs and wants, and there are reasons why we want to make sure that when we're talking about babies, that we're giving them exactly the right essential oils for them, for their needs. When we talk about babies, we can actually try or think about applying some of that information to older people, but babies specifically are teeny tiny, and we're going to talk about that. And for those of you who are parents or new parents, congratulations. If you're a new grandparent, congratulations. But today it's all about babies. So happy. So let's get started. Got a couple of things that I want to share with you, and I want to show you actually what we've got here, because we've got a lot of interesting information about babies. And I love the fact that while babies are not just small adults, they do some really kind of cool things, right? We love babies, we love what they do, but we also love that idea that that they're not just teeny tiny, miniature people. So we want to make sure that we're treating them appropriately. The ideas in this presentation are primarily from the book Essential Oils Healthcare for Today. I borrowed a lot from a wonderful book that I've used in the past, Essential Oils for Babies. If you haven't seen it, I have to get a link for it, and I'll post it in the chat. It's one of those books that's been around for a really long time, and rightfully so. The authors have updated frequently, but if you're looking for essential oil tips specifically for babies, more in depth than I'm going to give you today, that's a book that you want to pursue, and I'll be talking about that in a little while. So let's talk a little bit about oils for babies. I'm going to be talking primarily about single oils. You can see that teeny tiny hand, so sweet. I had the great good fortune over Thanksgiving to spend time with actually one pretty much brand new baby, a 6 months old, actually 8-month-old, my grandniece, and just so sweet holding on to her. And she's becoming a little bit more communicative, but not walking and not really talking. She's making little cooing sounds to tell us what she needs and wants. She's an older brother and an older sister, neither one of which are that big, but we're not going to talk specifically about toddlers today, although many of the things that we're going to talk about absolutely can apply to newborn babies, right? Or babies that we would hold in our arms, and smaller kids, right? When we're talking about essential oils, we can always start. If you're a pregnant mom, congratulations. And or a dad who's expecting in his family. And we want to make sure that we're talking about specifically those teeny tiny ones. So we've got a lot of essential oils for babies that we're going to talk about. Number one is, as you saw on the first page, lavender. I'm going to talk about lavender in about a minute. I'm really happy that we're all here, and I'm ready to take a deeper dive with all of you into the wonderful world of essential oils for babies. Health fads come and go, as we know, but essential oils, as we know, have been around for millennia. Very reliable. And today we're going to learn about the best oils and methods for you to keep your baby healthy and happy. Was a rule of thumb, the most important thing I would say is we need to address the sensitivities that babies have in comparison to adults or even to older children. They have weaker immune systems, smaller bodies, more sensitive skin, and their livers can only process so much at a time. So keep this information in mind whenever you're thinking about maybe talking to someone who has a new baby. You always want to do what's called a patch test. So to perform a patch test, you're going to apply a small, no larger than about a small coin. And when I'm talking about a small coin, I'm talking about this big, right? Not about the size of, let's say, maybe one of your fingernails, maybe even the size of your thumbnail. Gentlemen, a smaller fingernail if you have a smaller nail. And what you're going to do is you're going to dilute that essential oil appropriately for the baby. And then what you're going to do is you're going to leave the oil on the skin 24 hours to see if there's a reaction. Now, if you're an experienced user of essential oils and you're using essential oils on your own baby, you're going to know right away if the baby is just not feeling discomfort or any sort of just not happy with that essential oil, with that patch test. But certainly if you're new or you're helping somebody else, use the patch test method. So you want to dilute the essential oil and then apply it to their leg or their arm. So now you can be applying essential oils to the soles of their feet with usually very good results. And with the essential oils that I'm going to talk about today, I haven't seen any reactions, especially if the essential oils are diluted properly. Commonly irritating oils that should be saved until children are older are things like cassia, cinnamon, oregano, peppermint, and anything with a heavy menthol base. So those would be maybe your deep blue oils or maybe even your tea tree. They're just going to be a little bit too, although tea tree can be used in, and tea tree doesn't have menthol. I'm thinking of things like let's stick with deep blue. Wintergreen would be another one, right? Which we wouldn't use on a baby, even if we felt that they were having some sort of physical discomfort that we wanted to be able to help them with. Okay, the other thing we want to think about is we're using the oils one at a time. Don't, for the most part, start blending a whole bunch of roll-on things for your baby. And then you can see this baby is probably about 6 to 8 months, which is about the age of my grandniece. You want to make sure that you're testing them one at a time. So avoiding blends of oils until you have the opportunity to patch test. Now, you could try using the children's essential oils. The whole line is great for younger children. And if you're thinking about using them, I would think ages 2 and up, use the children's line without any problems at all. If you're brand new to essential oils, you're feeling like a nervous mom, you can go ahead and dilute those oils, but start with these singles that we're going to talk about today. I think they're really going to give you some great information. So number 1 on the hit parade is dilute, dilute, dilute. The little ones aren't as well equipped when we talk about handling essential oils. When applying to the skin, you want to use the following ratios. And this is really an easy rule of thumb. So I think sometimes we complicate dilution. I would take 1 teaspoon of essential oil and 1 drop, back up that train, 1 drop of essential oil to 1 teaspoon of carrot oil for any baby under the age of 2, and above the age of 2, 2 drops and 2 teaspoons. So 1 drop in 2 teaspoons. And I'm actually adding this into the chat because I know I'm talking off the top of my head here and I'm making no sense. Let me get it in the chat right away. Okay. For those of you who are thinking, what am I doing now? Wait, what? 1 drop to 2 teaspoons for under 2, and then 2 drops and 2 teaspoons for over 2. So that's an easy way to remember. You're in your house, you're in your kitchen. Everybody has a teaspoon in their kitchen cabinet. You can use the kind of teaspoons that we use for baking. If you want to be super precise, you can use the one that you stir your coffee with. They're all about the same size. You want to use 2 teaspoons, 1 drop, 2 drops, 2 teaspoons. Did I make that clear? I hope that was clear for everyone. Tell me in the chat if I'm making it clear. At least I added the text into the chat. So the other thing that we want to always think about is what types of products and that people on our team or the people that we're talking to may be using. A lot of times we're talking to brand new moms. They may not know about purity. They may not know that dōTERRA essential oils are natural and safe, and that really this is the only company that's doing the level of testing and examination that goes on in we're the number 1 in the world. What can I tell you? We're the number 1 dōTERRA. dōTERRA is the number 1 essential oil company, and we do more testing than anybody else. So most store-bought oils have things like solvents, pesticides, synthetics, and other chemicals you would not be able to tell or detect by looking at the label, by smelling the essential oil, and no oils on the market are more thoroughly tested than dōTERRA. I remember a couple of years ago going to a convention when it was still live, so this is pre-COVID, and one of the things that they had us do was go to a table and smell 2 oils side by side and then write a guess as to which one was the synthetic. And I have to say I did pretty well, but I did not get 100%. I think that there were 10 oils and maybe I was able to get 7 or 8, which is pretty good. There were people that literally were totally befuddled and couldn't even get 50%. So think about it seriously. I've been using essential oils for a long time. I think I know what an essential oil should smell like, but everybody can be fooled. And honestly, you can be fooled for different reasons. I think on that particular day, my nose started getting a little bit just weary and I wasn't able to, make the best decisions after a while. I was kind of looking at the color of the oil, but really the smell was just escaping me. The other thing is we live in very toxic environments. So if you're used to living in an environment that maybe has a lot of scent in it already, it's going to be very difficult for you to look at your essential oils and say, oh yes, or smell essential oils from another company or any company really, and say, oh yes, this is pure. But the great thing about doTERRA is they put their money where their mouth is, right? So we know what kind of testing they're doing, and it's a super transparent company. Anything, honestly, that you need to know about a single essential oil, you're going to find it. So you want to stick to, if you're going to use any other products, unscented baby products, and then add your own doTERRA essential oils once you know that they're safe for your baby. So I hope I made that a little bit clear. The other thing is we want to talk about delivery methods. So when you want to make sure that you don't get too heavy-handed with essential oils around your little ones, stick to adding a few drops to a bottle of water to maybe spritz around a room, or adding a few drops to a water-based diffuser. I have actually a water-based diffuser right here. This is the Pebble. I hope that you can see it. Actually, let me see. I have it plugged in. Let's see what will go on there. Do I have it plugged in? I think I do. Oh no, I think I. Oh, there it goes. Oops. Oh, I think I'm out of water. That's what it is. Okay, sorry, I'm out of water, and I have tea. I'm drinking cold coffee again. Sorry, everyone. Don't want to put coffee in my diffuser. Needless to say, I had a small water-based diffuser here. Water-based diffusers are excellent for babies. You want to avoid, if you're going to make one of those sprayer bottles, avoid spritzing pillows or any sort of bedding, right? Babies tend to put everything in their mouth. It's very close to their face. You want to make sure your baby doesn't ingest any essential oil. Carrier oils to mix with essential oils, fractionated coconut oil would be my number one on the list. Others would be vegetable oils, which would be an oil that you would actually eat that's in your kitchen. Coconut oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil. I wouldn't use blends of oils. Again, we have had some blends of oils that recently came out, including one that's called Sensitive Skin, but it contains multiple oils in there, and I'd be concerned with using that type of oil with a baby. So perfectly safe for us grown-ups, but be careful with your baby. I don't see any questions so far, so I'm going to keep going, but usually we have a few questions. What's going on, everyone? You're super quiet today. Anybody have a baby? Anybody new today? Tell me in the chat. Have you used essential oils on babies? Have you used them on your baby? Let me know. Even when I started using essential oils, my kids were not babies. They were toddlers, but they were not babies. Okay, next thing we want to think about when we're talking about essential oils is storing your essential oils. So always keep your oils out of reach of children all the time. You don't want your children to ingest the oil without you knowing it. If any oil is ingested, and a baby like this would not be ingesting essential oil unless you literally handed them the bottle. This baby is not even crawling. Small amounts won't do them any harm, and it's extremely rare for a child to drink enough to be harmed. But just in case, you want to give the child an oil-soluble liquid like milk or half and half, something a little bit fatty, and then call poison control for assistance if your baby did drink a lot of essential oils. Most of the time, they get a little bit on their tongue and they start spitting it out right away. Something might be very enticing to them, like spearmint that smells like gum or candy, and but you really it's unlikely that they're going to glug down a whole bottle. Not to mention the fact that we usually have, or you should all have, your regulator caps on the top, so that would be really hard for them to get a lot of oil at the same time. Here's the last thing. Don't put essential oils in your baby's nose. Now, I know as a mom, we think, oh, my baby's nose is stuffy, I'm going to put the oils in the nose. Please don't do that. That's really going to be very painful for them. Even sometimes around the nose or on the face of the baby can be just too strong for them. If they do have congestion, you can put it underneath their pajamas, perhaps. You can use a water-based diffuser, but don't put oils on the baby's face, especially a baby this tiny like we see in the right now. And we're going to use our gentle oils, well diluted, only using them near the face when needed for things like ear concerns, right? That would be another reason why we'd be using essential oils on the face. Okay, let's start talking now about some of our oils. So number one on the hit parade for calming and soothing your baby. I wish I had known this when my eldest was born. Roman chamomile, very gentle, beneficial for babies who are having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or suffering from colic. Colic is that kind of gassy condition that babies get from time to time, and then may wiggle around, or they may pull up their legs. They may be a little bit gassy right after eating. Chamomile can be mixed with a carrier oil and massaged along the baby's jawline to help soothe any discomfort from teething. So you can use your chamomile, Roman chamomile essential oil with your baby and feel perfectly you can feel good about using that on a baby. Eileen says to tell us that her sister-in-law just had a baby, so I'm really interested in this session. Thanks for sharing that, Eileen. And Jocelyn says, can I apply a small portion on my baby's foot? Absolutely. But remember, always dilute, Jocelyn, always dilute. Okay, let's talk about our next essential oil, lavender. And I'm not sure why lavender came second. I think because we had talked about it a little bit earlier. You know that lavender has natural sedative properties. It can help in relaxation, sleep, and alleviating any sort of aches or pains. While babies are not running around, when they first start crawling, they can bump into things. They can stub their little fingers and toes. They may bump into a wall. They may fall. Lavender is the essential oils that you want to be using for all of those things. You can also use it in the same way that you would use Roman chamomile along the jawline during teething for if their jaw is a little bit sore. It's also a natural antiseptic, so it makes it perfect to dab on things like, excuse me, insect bites or sunburns or cuts and scrapes. Babies this tiny usually don't get that kind of stuff until they start crawling. Now, this baby seems a little bit bigger and he may actually be crawling. When they start crawling, they absolutely begin to bump into things, and that's the time that you're going to need your lavender. It's also nice to add to cleaning products that you would use around your house. There's a couple of other things that I can think of over the top of my head. Be certain that when you're using your cleaning products, you're using something that's natural, like dōTERRA cleaning products, the new Abode line, or our On Guide line, because we want to make sure that we're using things that are natural and clean. Clean meaning not full of chemicals that can be harmful to baby. Tea tree, one of my new favorites. I have to say I was never really a devotee of tea tree, but it is a wonderful essential oil. You can use it. I have mine on hand now really all the time. It is antimicrobial, antifungal, and a disinfectant. You could use it for diaper rash. You could also use it instead of lavender for diaper rash. I've heard of many people using an unscented baby cream that's a little bit thicker with perhaps a drop of lavender essential oil. You can try the tea tree and make sure that your baby's bum stays really nice and cute and fresh and not sad and hurtful, right? Okay, but our king of essential oils is frankincense. We've all got our frankincense out now because it is the holidays. Frankincense can help with boost your baby's immune system, helps with a healthy inflammatory response, and it's great to use once baby starts rolling and crawling around the house. Babies tend to put things in their mouth. They also, as they touch your floors, they get things onto their hands, and then those hands, feet, everything goes in the mouth, as you know. So you want to keep your space as clean and clear as possible, and then you want to make sure that you're helping them to stay really healthy. You could add maybe a drop of frankincense into a warm bath, a single drop, just for relaxation and also boosting your immune system. You can also consider using lemon for cold and flu season. So when there's a lot of germs floating around, you can put a drop of lemon oil with a carrier on your baby's feet. You could also try rubbing it on their chest. Most babies are not going to be outdoors like this without any shirt on. But if your baby was going to be out like this, absolutely do not put lemon oil on their chest. Put it on the soles of their feet, and you're doing it at night to help their immune system, not during the day. You can use your lemon oil, essential oil, in a diffuser to help them feel a little happier. And you can also use it to freshen the air in their rooms in case you've got a diaper pail maybe that isn't as happy as it should be. We want to keep our babies happy and clean. Jocelyn is asking about soothing babies' teething. We talked a little bit about Roman chamomile, and we also talked about lavender. So when we talk about pain on the jawline, usually that has to do with teething. If the baby's teeth are coming in, they're gnawing on things, they maybe have their bobo that they're kind of chewing as opposed to just sucking on it, or maybe they have some sort of a squishy toy or something that they're just gnawing and gnawing. Usually means new teeth are coming in. It can be a little achy and painful for them, especially if they have multiple teeth coming on at the same time. During teething, hit your lavender and also your Roman chamomile. Another one that I really like is ginger. Now, ginger can be a little bit warm, but not warm like cassia. If you're diluting properly, ginger should be fine for baby's tummy. You can also apply essential oil on the soles of the feet. I remember, I don't know if it's still up, but there used to be a wonderful video of Dr. Hill applying either Digestin or ginger. Now, I don't think he would use Digestin now, but he might use Tamer on a small baby like this, on their belly, on their abdomen, and on the soles of their feet. Again, dilute, dilute, dilute. Your baby may experience upset stomach. They may have a little bit of reflux. That's that kind of when they spit up a little bit. They may have constipation, gassiness. All those things can be helped with ginger oil. It's a known digestive aid and has a soothing and calming aroma that's great for diffusing or massaging into the belly with a carrier oil, right? We're always talking about carrier oils. I keep repeating it because I want to make sure everybody remembers. Another wonderful one is jasmine. Now, our jasmine comes pre-diluted. You know that jasmine is soft and floral. It can help with those tantrumy days that babies can sometimes have. I remember as a first-time mom, maybe not as much with my second, but with my first, I would look at my baby. She would be screaming or yelling or something that I didn't understand. And I just wanted to ask her, help me, because I don't know what you're telling me. And I also just wanted her to calm because she was obviously upset. I would go through all the regular things of, I don't know, diapers. Was she wet? Was she this? Was something sticking in her? And I just couldn't always solve it. And probably my nervousness didn't help at all. The jasmine probably would have helped both of us. So if your baby needs like a little bit of help in winding down at the end of the day before a nap, or maybe at the end of the day when you and your baby both need to get some sleep, pre-diluted jasmine touch makes application to baby's feet or pulse points easy. Now, if you want to dilute even more, if you feel it's a little bit just not diluted enough for your taste or maybe even your baby's taste, start with the soles of the feet, and then you can always dilute a little bit more. But jasmine is a wonderful essential oil. It's also a great essential oil for pregnant moms. Let's talk a little bit about massage. I love this little baby here getting his massage. He just looks, I don't know, with that little lip sticking out. But I was not a baby massager. I didn't massage my babies. Shireen says, can we use Jasmine Touch? Yes, Shireen, that's exactly what I was talking about. Jasmine Touch. Most people do not have Jasmine, pure Jasmine. You might have won it as part of one of the promos that doTERRA did several years ago. Don't use pure Jasmine on your baby. Use Jasmine Touch, and you can continue to dilute that essential oil. Okay, let's talk about massage. Regular massage can improve weight gain, especially in preterm infants. So you've got a preemie, you can help them with massage, helping them to gain weight. You can also help them encourage their development and decrease irritability and sleep disturbances. And that's true really for all babies. Just like massages for adults, massages for babies can stimulate the central nervous system and release feel-good hormones like serotonin. So that's going to help your baby to relax and want to go to sleep, which is what we all want. Moms and babies and dads too all need sleep. And those first several months can be very tricky. We're all kind of, especially first baby, right? For those of you who are parents already, I wonder if you can remember back to a time before you had kids and then you have your first, and it's like, I don't know, somebody picked up the whole house and shook it and everything just got put back down in another place. I remember that feeling of just, I don't know, almost desperation. I couldn't go out. I couldn't do anything right. I had always been very fully functional and I don't know, a good student. And suddenly I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, I had some really great people that wind up helping me. And I be forever grateful. There are people that were generous and kind with me as a new mom and gave me some great tips. So if you're a new mom or a new dad, I hope you've got some people like that right near you. And of course, you can always send me a message if there's something that you're just really struggling with, especially as it concerns essential oils in babies. Send out a message. I'd love to hear your messages down in the chat. Oils aren't necessary to massage a baby. You could just use pure fractionated coconut oil. They do make the process a little bit easier by allowing whoever the caregiver or the massager is to glide more easily over the skin. Again, you're using very limited amounts of oils. If your baby is under 3 months, I would probably say 1 drop of essential oil to maybe 2 soup spoons or maybe a single soup spoon. We want to make sure that the oils are very, very diluted. Also, giving your baby a full body massage is going to expose them to a lot of cream, whatever lotion that you're using, hopefully unscented, and then maybe adding a single drop of essential oil. If they're old enough, add a drop or 2 to your carrier oil and perform a gentle yet firm massage on the belly, the back, the arms, the legs. I'm sure your baby and your connection to your baby is what's really going to matter. Lavender is a good one for baby massages if you're so inclined. And I know there are tons of books about baby massages. I'm not a massage person personally, but I know that baby massage books are super big. So look into that if that's something that you're interested. Here's one blend that I'd like you to consider. So we didn't talk about any blends at all, but I would like you to consider Balance. Balance contains spruce, whole wood, frankincense, blue tansy, and blue chamomile in a fractionated coconut oil base. It does promote tranquility and relaxation. You could consider it on a baby over, I would say, about the age of 3 months. It can ease anxious feelings, and frankincense is going to give you that sense of grounding, balancing, and whatever effects on the emotion. It's mild enough to be placed on the soles of your baby's feet. But I would say for Balance, because it is a blend, let's use 3 months and up as the rule for this specific oil and blend. All the touch blends make things easier. You can use a doTERRA touch blend and then dilute it more, or you can use the kids blends and dilute it more for your infant, but use your roll-ons. Now, many of you have used roll-ons in the past. You can see this is a bigger child with a bigger foot. Probably would not be using the peppermint on a baby. I don't know why we have this photo. We probably should be showing the lavender blend, but needless to say, we want to use our touch essential oils as kind of a base mark because they're pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and usually they're good for your child's sensitive skin. Things like lavender, frankincense, tea tree, jasmine, and maybe your digestion from this kit could be stored in a separate drawer marked baby. You could even pop off the top and add a little bit more fractionated coconut oil if you wanted. And then you've got your baby kit. I would probably keep that right in baby's room and have it ready whenever you need it. Let's give you a little bit of information for a bug spray. Now, in this particular case, you're not spraying it on the baby, you're spraying in the baby's area. So you want to keep those bugs away from, say, baby's trolley or pram, or you want to keep it away. Maybe the baby's lying on a blanket. You can spray it around the edge of the blanket. You could use a little bit of witch hazel, lavender, citronella, and then some boiled water. You want to make sure that the water's been boiled so that it's really clear, and then mix everything together and fill one or more spray bottles, preferably of dark glass, right? So I'm adding this into your chat so you can take a look at it. And I know bugs sometimes can be very bothersome for parents, especially when they're around their baby. Nobody wants to see a baby with a bug bite. If you're having bugs, maybe even in your baby's bedroom, you're leaving the windows open and a mosquito comes in, your baby can get a bug bite. In fact, they can get more than one. Can you use this around the edges of the crib or on the floor around the crib? Absolutely not on the baby, in their surroundings. Okay, I think I have one more tip for you. Whoops. Oh yes, here's a do-it-yourself. I've got a link actually for a diaper cream, which I'm going to put in the, there we go. That's your link for a diaper cream. So commercially made diaper creams include irritants that can sometimes cause the baby's bum to become even more, delicate skin on the bum to become even more irritated than it already is. This is a homemade diaper cream, essentially simple, natural, and helps to soothe and smooth the skin. Don't feel comfortable with tea tree, you can use your lavender. They're all going to work, but I think this is a wonderful one for you. So I have one more DIY for you. Yes, I do. So I don't know if you know this. It's a good thing for me to mention here. Commercially made baby powders are not safe. They're usually made with talcum. We know that talc, T-A-L-C, is an irritant to the baby's lungs. It's an irritant to your lungs. However, there is a place for wanting to have your baby to have a really dry bum when you put on that diaper. And I know many mothers feel frustrated because many commercial products contain talc, and we know that talc is an irritant to the lungs. So I've got a recipe for you for a non-irritating, safe baby powder. Right here, baby powder. Oops. And you are going to make that baby powder with a little bit of cornstarch, which you can find in any grocery store. Sometimes it's called corn powder, or you've seen it, I'm sure, for baking and for cooking, for thickening sauces, arrowroot powder, and finely ground oats. And so what you're basically doing is you're taking the oats. Sometimes you can actually find oat flour in supermarkets. I know around me, I have found out oat flour, but it's a little bit hard to source. And then you're going to use that corn flour, that little mixture, and add in maybe a drop of Roman chamomile or a drop of lavender, and that can keep your baby's bum nice and dry. So I hope that helps all of our new parents. I think, oh, there we go. There's our, I didn't show my slide for the do-it-yourself baby powder. So you got two recipes in there, one for the diaper cream and one for the baby powder. Okay, any other questions? We've been a little bit quiet today, folks. I don't know why. I know we're talking about babies. Sometimes babies, I don't know, we're just left speechless. Now, I've got a lot of good links for you here that can help you with ideas for babies in general, for babies and using essential oils. There we go, tons of links. And I don't know if you know this, but you can go right into the chat and touch those three buttons on the right-hand side, and that'll save the chat for you if you're interested in some of these links that I use to put together this presentation. I have to say, I'm so happy. If you have a baby, congratulations. We're I feel like we're one big happy family. We've been around for a while together. We've grown up together. Our kids are growing up together. And now it's like the next generation is coming up online. So all of you that are new moms, congratulations. Hang in there. Sometimes it can be tough. I'm sure you're doing a good job. And just remember, you know your baby better than anyone else. So allow that to kind of sink in, that idea that, you know what, this baby and we're connected better than anybody else. So just keep it in mind when you have a day where you think, oh my gosh, what's the right thing to do? And for those of you who are on your second and third babies, I've seen some of you new moms and you're amazing and intuitive and you look at the baby and it's just, I don't know, it's like you're reading the baby's mind. It's wonderful to see. So thank you so much for being here. I love getting to chat with all of you and to talk to you a little bit about babies and essential oils. We haven't done this for a while. Here's our one final check-in. If there's anybody's got any questions, add them into the chat. Love to answer any questions that you may have. If you don't already, please follow us on social media, either on Instagram or on Facebook, and finally on YouTube, where we are right now. Take a moment to please subscribe to this video and ring the bell so that you can get notifications each and every time that we have a new video. We're going to be talking again next week about some new topics. I'm so happy that you're all here. You've been an amazing group. Remember, you are amazing just by coming here and wanting to try to do something different and natural. You're changing the history of your family. You're changing the history of your own health. And that's a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for having been here, and have a wonderful week. Okay. What do we want to do now? We want to, whoops. There we go. I hope you can still see me. We are going to be giving away some prizes to those of you who are still on the live from YouTube. I'm going to say a fond farewell to everyone. We'll be back right here on Monday again, and we'll have a brand new topic. We've got a couple of good ones coming up in the next few weeks. Thanks for having been here. And for everybody who's on the live, stay on because we're going to be giving away a really fun prize. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye-bye now.